All right, Cossack squat. Now, this isn't an exercise that I'm particularly good at. You might not be as well, and that's okay. Really, it's just something, as long as you try, that's key. So when it comes to determining your stance, start hip width, and you're gonna step out, 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 out. You're gonna point the toes out. This gives room for your knees to move. Start with body weight, and if you feel comfortable, you can add weight. Here I'm using a dumbbell. You can also use a kettlebell, whatever you have at your disposal. If you're wearing socks like I am now, it can make it a little bit harder and slippery, so just keep that in mind. Maybe you want to take your socks off when you perform the exercise, assuming your shoes are slippery. So set in your position, and you're going to come down as deep as you can, and as I come down on one side, my other leg and foot is going to rotate out. This is going to give me room to move, and then I'm going to come up. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, once you do one side, then make sure you do the other side. Now, some big things to keep in mind with technique is you want to make sure that you get those hips back into the movement. Common mistake you'll see is people will sort of lean back and they'll just come through the knee instead. This is a knee, ankle, and hip, mainly hip exercise, if done correctly. Other than that, some big technical issues people often have as well is slouching, dropping of the chest. We want the chest to sort of remain in a neutral position, especially as we're holding the weight and the movements, again, happening at the hip and the knee and the ankle. And lastly, we really want to sink into it and get as low as we can. You know, range of motion is key. The more range of motion we get, the better. And aside from that, it's pretty straightforward. This is an uncomfortable exercise. It requires a lot of mobility through your hips, which not a lot of people have, which is fine. But what you'll find is come the second or third set, you'll feel a lot more confident and comfortable going into that deep position. In terms of distribution of weight on your foot, you want to be pushing through your entire foot. You don't want to be pushing on the toe or the heel. The entire foot is key. And if you can get deeper, go deeper. That's great. If you can't, work within a range that you feel capable. Add more weight, make it more stimulating if you have to. Again, don't use momentum, focus on control. Pretty straightforward.